Harry uploads a dating app, hoping to find a girlfriend. He likes these 3 ladies, but 2 of them are not single. Can you guess who? The second lady has 2 shampoos on a bathroom shelf. One for her curly hair and one shampoo for male hair and beards. So she's probably living with her husband, and the third lady is wearing a necklace in the shape of half a heart. The second half probably belongs to her boyfriend. So only the first lady is single. Early in the morning, Harry goes to the local park for a workout. He sees these 3 runners on the way. Can you decide who's faster? The second one. What about these cyclists? Who's the fastest? The third one. After the workout, Harry enters his favorite cafe and sees a lot of people. All the tables are occupied, but one person already finished eating. Can you guess who? This guy. There's money on his table. Harry looks around the cafe and sees a crying woman. Can you guess why she's so upset? She's crying because her friend is pulling her hair. Harry is flying business class to another city. There are 4 women in the cabin. One of them is smuggling gold. Can you guess who? The fourth one. Her belly is unnaturally square. So he goes to the park and gets attacked by a crowd of zombies. Harry is terrified. He begins to run away. There are 3 possible routes in front of him, but only one of these routes will actually take him to a shelter. Can you help Harry find the correct way? Route A doesn't look simple, but it's the only way out. Harry is visiting an engagement party. His brother Kevin proposes to his girlfriend Bella with a fancy diamond ring. And she says yes. The party goes well, but suddenly, the lights turn off for 20 seconds. When the power is back again, Bella sees that someone has sneaked an engagement ring from her finger. Harry questions 3 suspects. Peter says,
I was cutting a cake in the kitchen when the lights turned off.
Allie says, I was playing the piano in the living room when suddenly it became super dark. But I'm a pro, so I continued to play blindly. And Kitty says, Sorry, I've been arguing on the phone with my ex-boyfriend, so I didn't look around. Who's lying? Allie. She said she was playing the piano, but there are no musical instruments in the living room. At the party, Harry meets a pretty lady named Monica. He falls in love with her at first sight, but unfortunately, she's already married. Can you guess which one of these guys is her spouse? It's the first guy. He's the only one who doesn't hold any drink, and Monica is holding 2 glasses, one for herself and one for her husband. The party goes on, and Harry meets Vlad. He's a real vampire. One of these ladies is his wife. Can you guess who? The first lady's not a vampire. She bit this cookie and smeared her red lipstick. And the second one is wearing a garlic necklace, probably to chase away evil powers. Meanwhile, the third lady has sharp ears and red eyes, so she's probably a vampire just like Vlad. But the task was to spot Vlad's wife. Nobody said that she's necessarily a vampire. Take a look at the First Lady's ring finger. She has a ruby ring that's similar to Vlad's. Therefore, she's his spouse. Harry runs a hardware store chain. He arrives at one of the shops to investigate a theft. The manager says,
This morning I found out that some Xboxes are missing. They could be stolen yesterday. Only 2 guys worked last night. One of them must be the thief. Personally, I think it was Bob.
Harry asks, why do you think so?
I talked to both of them. Bob said that he saw nothing suspicious, and Zach said that he'd seen Bob put some boxes in the back seat of his car.
Harry asks the manager to take him to Bob. They approach Bob at the parking lot. Harry says, now I'm pretty sure that Zach is guilty. Why did Harry think so? Zach said Bob put some boxes in the back seat of his car. However, Bob has a 2-seat car. Harry calls the police and they arrest Zach. The manager decides to change the 7-number password on the storage door to avoid further thefts. He leaves this little clue for all his colleagues. Can you crack this code? The number of fingers implies 5. The number of angles in the triangle implies 3. The number of petals in the flower is 6. The circle implies 0. The rainbow has 7 colors. It symbolizes the number 7. And finally, the square has 4 angles, so the passcode is 536074. Harry figures out the code and changes it again to test Bob's intelligence. Harry gives him the following clue. It's a 7-digit code. The first digit is the number of zeros in the code. The second digit is the number of ones in it. The third digit is the number of 2s. The fourth digit is the number of 3s. The fifth digit is the number of 4s. The sixth digit reveals the number of 5s. And finally, the 7th digit shows the number of 6s. Can you figure out the code? The correct answer is 3211000. Harry goes on a road trip. He stops in the middle of a desert to take pictures. Can you spot 3 odd things? Harry's shadow falls to the right, and the shadows from the cacti fall to the left. He's in the desert, but this cactus is growing in a pot, and this lizard is wearing tiny shoes. Harry rents a room in a motel for a couple of days. Unfortunately, he has a very annoying neighbor, Karen. They're arguing all the time. One day, Karen calls the local security and accuses Harry of stealing her towel. It's been raining all day long, so I didn't go to the beach and stayed in my room. Harry grabbed my beach towel from this rope. I could see from my window. He folded it and put it into his backpack. The guard immediately realizes that Karen is lying. How? The rope is outdoors. It doesn't make any sense to dry towels in the rain. Harry purchases a tour to see the local waterfalls. He takes a nap on the bus. Then he wakes up and sees that his favorite baseball cap is missing. Harry interrogates 3 tourists nearby. Sally says, "Sorry, I was sleeping too. I don't know who did it." Oliver says, "Look at me, I don't wear baseball caps, man. I prefer classy hats." And Molly says, "I think it was Sally. She's very suspicious. I'm almost sure that she tried to steal my chocolates when I fell asleep." Can you spot the thief? It was Oliver. He hid Harry's cap under his classy hat. Harry enters the local bakery. Rosie, the barista, is very upset. I have so many coffee orders, but someone stole all the beans from the storage room. Harry interrogates 3 suspects. Louis, the cook, says,
I spent the whole day in the kitchen baking croissants, and I'm just working on a new batch. I don't have time to talk to you.
Ron, the waiter, says, I forgot to set my alarm, so I overslept and arrived just now. I don't know who sneaked the beans. And finally, Dan, the manager, says,
I've been talking to one dissatisfied customer all morning. She was so annoying. I didn't have the chance to look around.
Who's lying? The cook. There are no croissants either in the kitchen or in the bakery window. Detective Smith was called to a house to investigate a burglary. Mr. Brooke claimed that someone had broken into his place and stolen his expensive watch. When the detective arrived, he saw that the front door was open and there was muddy footprints leading to the living room. He also noticed that there was some mud on the staircase. After looking around the house, Detective Smith quickly figured out who the thief was. He went upstairs and arrested Mr. Brooks' son. Why did he do that? The detective noticed that no footprints were leading out of the house, indicating that the thief was still inside. 4 friends went out for lunch. Take a look at the image and try to guess which person is the richest. It's the one on the right. The first person has a fake iPhone, so they can't be it. Then the one next to them has ripped shoes, which means she can't afford new ones. The third friend has an empty wallet. She's probably going to ask some friend to pay her part of the bill. And the fourth one has multiple black credit cards, which means they're the richest. Freddie went to the castle near his house to return a lost cat. He was greeted by an old man that invited him in. But once he stepped inside, the old man turned into an evil magician that trapped Freddie inside the castle. Then the evil magician said,
If you manage to complete 3 tasks I give you, I'll let you go home. Otherwise, you'll be stuck here forever. Here's the first task. Help me find my glasses amongst all these vegetables.
Can you help Freddie? Here they are, right next to the pumpkin. For the next task, Freddie had to make a potion, and the ingredients should be added in the right order. The magician gave Freddie a piece of paper with the recipe written on it. Can you help Freddie make the potion? You got to follow the colors of the cauldrons. So first of all, you need to add curry, so the potion will turn yellow. Then you add some blueberries, and it will turn green. And finally, add some tomatoes to make the potion look brown. Well done, Freddie! Freddie's third task is to find a book in this messy room. Can you do it? It's sitting right here behind the floor lamp. Congrats, you just helped to free Freddie. Tuesday, Sam and Peter went to a restaurant for dinner. After eating, the bill was paid. But Sam and Peter did not pay the bill. Who paid the bill for them? Their friend, Tuesday. I didn't see that one coming. Atlas woke up in the attic of an abandoned house. He tried to find a way out of the house, but all he could do was find a room with 3 doors. Each door hid a different danger. The windows and floor behind the first door were made entirely of magnifying glass, which meant that the sunlight would probably burn him if he entered. The second door hid a room full of poisonous gases. And behind the third door, there was a hungry lion. What should Atlas do to escape? He should wait until it's nighttime and use the first door. Sydney told her mom that her gymnastics team would go to a sports camp for the weekend. She asked her mom to help her pack for the trip. Her mother packed everything she thought her daughter would need. When Sydney came back from the weekend, she was telling her mother all about the trip. But somewhere during the conversation, she asked her mother why she hadn't packed a toothbrush. The mother immediately knew Sydney was lying about where they had really been that weekend. How? Because Sydney's mother did pack a toothbrush, but she put it under Sydney's gymnastics clothes. If Sydney had really gone to that camp, she would have used the clothes and found the toothbrush. Kimberly discovered 3 bags in an old attic along with a note. The note said that there was $1 million inside one of the bags. It also said that the 2 other bags were empty. She only had one chance to figure out which bag had the cash. Kim knew that only one of the messages written on the bags was true. On the first bag, it said, "The cash is not here." On the second bag, it was written, "The cash is not here." The last bag read, "The cash is in the second bag." If you were Kimberly, which bag would you choose? You should choose the first bag. If only one of the clues is true, then the money is in the first bag. Becca had just arrived from a 2-week trip to Egypt. During her trip, she bought a beautiful emerald and wanted to show it to some of her friends. She decided to throw a party just for her closest friends. The next day, she noticed that the emerald was gone. Becca immediately decided to call a detective to help her find the thief. She showed him some of the pictures she had taken the night before. The detective took a quick look and already had a pretty good idea of who had done it. Take a look at these pictures. How did the detective find the culprit? Look at that girl wearing a hat. At 1 a.m., her hat is flat, but at 2 a.m., her hat suddenly turned pointy, weirdly imitating the shape of an emerald. It must have been her. It's a rainy evening, and Dylan is driving back home. He passes through a bus stop where 3 people ask him for a ride. Dylan only has 1 seat in his car to offer, but he really wants to help all of those people. There's an old lady that looks very cold. There's a doctor who claims he needs to get to the hospital for a quick appointment. And a woman that Dylan has a crush on. What's the best arrangement Dylan can make to help everyone? Dylan could lend his car to the doctor so that he could drive the old lady home. Dylan could wait at the bus stop with the girl he has a crush on until the doctor comes back and gives him his car back. Susan found out that her favorite pop band was playing a private concert for VIP clients in a luxurious club. She decided to sneak inside the club through the backyard. But unfortunately, Susan faced a strict guard behind the door. He refused to let her inside without a password. But luckily for her, there was a hint in the guard's t-shirt. The hint was 2, infinity, plus BD. Susan deciphered the hint and was allowed in the concert. Can you guess what the password was? It was to infinity and beyond. One afternoon, Nicole found her father, Frank, in the living room, really worried about an anonymous text he had gotten. Frank was a private investigator, and he had just received a message revealing the address of the town's most dangerous criminal, Dirty Jack. He decided to go check the area, even if he didn't know what the criminal looked like. The address turned out to be an old warehouse, and when he busted inside, he found 4 people sitting at a table playing poker. The 4 people were a carpenter, a truck driver, a mechanic, and a fireman. Without any hesitation or communication, Frank arrested the fireman. How did he know that he was a criminal? The fireman was the only male in the room. The rest of the poker players were women. Bobby and Rachel decided to go grab a cup of coffee. But when their orders arrived, Bobby's coffee came with a fly inside of it. He called the waiter and asked him to change his cup. The waiter brought another cup of coffee, but 2 seconds later, Bobby called the waiter again and said, "Hey, that's the same cup." How did he know? Because Bobby had already put sugar in his coffee, and when he tasted the liquid inside the new cup, it already had sugar inside.
Hey there! Let's begin with a couple of easy riddles to kickstart your brain.
Yeah.
2 Danes are walking around Copenhagen. One Dane is the father of the other Dane's son. How are the 2 Danes related? They must be husband and wife. On a Saturday afternoon, Martin was walking around the neighborhood with his sister Jane. Martin saw a girl across the street and said, "It's my niece." Jane said, "Well, but that's not my niece. How is it possible?" The girl is Jane's daughter. Meet Niles. He has as many sisters as he has brothers. This is one of his sisters, Sophie. She has twice as many brothers as she has sisters. How many girls and boys are there in the family? There are 4 boys and 3 girls, so each boy has 3 brothers and 3 sisters, and each girl has 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Let's play Would You Rather?
Yeah.
Beware, you'll have to make really hard choices in this game. So here's the first question. Would you rather lose your hearing or your voice? Make your choice. So if you decided to lose your hearing, you prefer giving over receiving. If you chose to lose your voice, it means that you live in harmony with yourself. Here's your next choice, being the only person on Earth or having others constantly pick on you. If you chose the first option, you're most likely afraid of pain. If you pick the second option, you're confident and have your life together. And here's the last one. You're on the highest floor of a very tall skyscraper. Would you rather drop a phone or a kitten? If you chose the kitten, I'm not proud of you. But the good news, the kitten was saved by another person. If you chose a phone, good job. They are easier to replace and won't cuddle with you on a bad day anyways. To answer this question, you need to think outside the box, so beware. A man was pushing his car. He stopped when he reached a hotel, and he knew immediately that he had gone bankrupt. What's going on here? The man pushing the car is playing Monopoly. His game piece is a car. He has just reached someone else's hotel, and he can't afford to pay for it. There's a surgeon working in a hospital who has a brother who is a lawyer. What is the relation of the surgeon to the brother who is a lawyer, if brother isn't the correct answer? The surgeon is the lawyer's sister. Esme was having a walk in the forest, but this time she didn't get lost. Here it was, her way home. But she chose to take a different route, the route to a witch's house. She had a riddle for the witch. Esme took a small magic stone, put it in an empty glass bottle, and closed it with a cork. How can the witch take the stone out without taking the cork out or smashing the bottle? The witch should push the cork into the bottle and then take the stone out. Well, since Esme paid her a visit, the witch had a riddle for Esme too. She took 6 glasses and placed them in a row. The first 3 glasses were full. There were potions in them. The other 3 glasses were empty. Esme could touch and move just 1 glass at a time. How should she arrange the glasses so that no full glass stands next to another full one and no empty glass stands to another empty one, using the least number of moves? Esme will only need 1 move. She needs to pick up the second glass, pour the potion into the 5th one, and put it back in its place. It was Lizzie's birthday. After school, right before she was about to head home, she checked her locker and found a strange note there. Unfortunately, the note didn't make any sense, and she couldn't understand it. Can you help her figure it out? The sentences in the note are just reversed. Lizzie should read the note backward, and here's what she'll get. Dear Lizzie, happy birthday! We have a surprise for you. Meet us by the fountain as soon as you figure out this note. Sounds exciting. Hopefully figuring it out didn't take her too long. Okay, great job. Now it's time for good old matchstick riddles. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's the first one. This is the figure you need to work with. Your task is to remove 8 matches to leave just 2 squares that don't touch. Here's how you should do it. Did you get it right? Okay, now, see this pattern? At the moment, it points up by moving just 3 matchsticks. Make it point to the bottom. I'll give you some time, and you can also pause the video. Okay, here's the solution. How long did it take you to figure it out? Okay, no matches this time, but there are figures. Can you figure out the ratio of the small red triangle to the big white one? It's easier than it seems. Think outside the box. To figure it out, you just need to rotate the red triangle like this. Now you can see that 3 more triangles of the same side can fit in. So, 4 in total. So, the ratio is 1 to 4. Let's check how attentive you are. I'll show you an apartment, and your task is to figure out the profession of the person who lives there.
Yeah.
You think it's easy? Well, let's see how well you can do. Keep your eyes wide open. Here's the first apartment. Who do you think lives there? See those ballet shoes? It must be a ballerina's house. Okay, well done. Here's the next house. Do you think you can figure this one out? Pay attention to the wall. There's a whole board with photos, cut out newspaper articles, and so on. I think it's a detective's house. Here's the next one. I think this one is harder, but we'll see what you have to say. What's your call? There are some paper models of buildings on the desk, so my bet is that an architect lives here. What was your guess? I hope you like it because I have another house for you. Pay attention to details and try to figure this one out too. What is your best guess? Look, there's a top hat, a rabbit in a cage, a magic wand, and other weird objects here. It seems like this apartment belongs to a magician. Okay, here's the last house for today. Keep your eyes wide open. Do you see anything that could give you a hint? Yes, take a look out the window. There's a cow and a horse and a couple of pigs in the field nearby. I believe this person is a farmer living on a farm. Did you get it right? 4 people are in an escape room, and this is their last task. They are placed this way. 3 people are one behind another. The first person doesn't see anyone. The second can only see the first person, and the third person can see both of them. The fourth person stands behind the wall. They can't see anyone, and no one can see them. These people know that each of them is wearing a hat and that there are 2 white hats and 2 black hats. They will win if one of them calls out the color of their own hat, but they can't communicate in any way. After a minute, one of them figures it out correctly. Who? Person D sees a white hat and a black hat, so she can't be so sure about the color of her own hat, so she doesn't say anything. Person C realizes that it must be because her and B's hats are of different colors. So, seeing that B is wearing a white hat, she realizes that she must be wearing a black one and shouts, "Black!"
Hey, Brightsiders, your regular brain workout is ready.
Yeah.
Hope you've come prepared. Let's start. Patrick called the police. The man seemed to be extremely worried.
My wife Victoria took our dog for a walk in the afternoon. Several hours ago, our pooch returned alone. I don't know where Vicky is.
The police questioned the suspects, people who were often seen near Patrick's house. Mrs. Summers said she'd been watching TV all day long.
I was busy delivering mail,
Said the mailman.
I didn't have time to linger in this area, and I didn't see anything.
And Mr. Thomas told the police he'd been working in his home office. The detective knew at once that one of these people was lying. Who was it? It was the mailman. His sleeve is a bit torn and there's a dog bite on his arm. Plus, do you see some black fur on his pant leg? Victoria's dog probably tried to protect the woman. Peter graduated from the police academy and began to work as a trainee detective. 1 week into his new job, Peter already had the first tricky case on his hands. One of his colleagues was investigating a series of crimes connected with smuggling. She was close to solving the case, but several days ago, the woman disappeared. Peter visited the last location where his colleague had been spotted and found a note. Peter had 3 suspects: Bill, a manager at an oil company, Todd, a jeweler, and John, a car dealer. Who knows something about the disappearance of Peter's colleague? Peter managed to prove he deserved his detective badge. The guy turned the message upside down and tried to read it that way. Surprisingly, the letters made rather legible words. Bill is boss. He sells oil. Mr. White, a rich businessman, disappeared right from his bedroom. But he managed to leave a note. It read, the 1st of July, the 4th of January, the 1st of December, the 8th of February. The police questioned the people who were in the house at that time. Judy, Mr. White's wife, said, "I'm shocked. My husband was always so careful. Sadly, I don't know anything. I was away staying at my parents'." Logan, Mr. White's secretary, told the police he'd been working on the report for his boss and hadn't left his study. And Rose, Mr. White's daughter, answered, "I was having guests. We didn't leave my room. Can you help the police solve this case?" The one behind Mr. White's disappearance is his wife. The 1st of July means the letter J, the 4th of January, U, the 1st of December, D, and the 8th of February, Y. Altogether, it's Judy. Julia came to have lunch in her favorite restaurant. She occupied a table near the window and put her bag on the chair next to her. Once the woman gave her order to the waiter, she went to the bathroom to wash her hands. But when she returned to her table, her bag was open and her wallet was missing.
Oh no!
The waiter told her he had noticed only one man passing by her table. He was short, with a tattoo on his neck. He seemed to go out to the terrace. Julia rushed there and saw 3 people sitting at their tables. She looked at them attentively and soon understood who had taken her wallet. Who was the thief? It's the young woman on the right. You can see a wig and some men's clothes in her bag. Plus, she's wearing a turtleneck to cover her tattoo. Jennifer was late for work again. Her boss was furious. He told the woman he'd let it slide this time if she cracked his rebus puzzle. I'm A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. This riddle was too difficult for Jennifer. She couldn't solve it and was fired. And how about you? Can you figure out the answer? That's I'm missing you. Got it? There's no letter U there. Once, a bank was robbed. The police suspected that one of the bank's security guards had helped the criminals. A police detective decided to question 3 of them. The first security guard told him he had heard someone shout and rushed there. But by the time he arrived, the criminals had already been gone. The second security guard explained he had been enjoying his cup of coffee at the time when the crime occurred. He didn't even hear anything. And the third guard said that he had run after the thieves, but he had to stop to lace his boot. Without a second thought, he crouched near an emergency exit. At that very moment, the door opened and hit him on the head. When he came to his senses, the criminals were gone. Justin immediately understood which guard was guilty. Who was it? It was the third security guard. All emergency doors open outwards for safety reasons. A math teacher told his students about Roman numerals. After that, he asked them to draw just one continuous line and turn IX into 6. The only condition was that the students were not to lift their pens from the paper until the line was finished. Mark was the first to complete this task. How did he do it? He drew the letter S in front of IX and got 6. Look at these couples. There's something seriously wrong with one of them. Which one? The couple on the right is strange. Look at their reflection in the mirror. It's all messed up. Nick called his wife Lauren from his office and promised her he would be home by 8 o'clock. That day was Lauren's 35th birthday. She had been getting ready for the party for 3 days, ordering food, sending invitations to her friends, and decorating the house. Nick came home at 8:05. He brought a cake, beautiful flowers, and an expensive bracelet. But Lauren was mad at him. Why? Lauren was sure Nick would come home at 8 p.m. in time for her birthday party, but he came home at 8:05 in the morning. Look at this picture. What's wrong here? Flowers don't bloom outside in the winter. How about this picture? Look at that bus. It's definitely a school bus. But why is it green? There are 2 mistakes in this picture. Can you find them? That lady is eating her soup with a fork. And there's a frog on that girl's plate. Yikes! Look at the picture and try to figure out what doesn't fit here. Right, it's the gas stove. All other devices run on electricity. In this picture, you see an artist and 3 women admiring his work. Can you figure out which one is his wife? It must be the woman in the middle. Have you noticed that the artist and this lady have the same blue paint stain on their clothes? And who is this doctor's wife? Okay, this lady on the right is the doctor's colleague. This lady is most likely a patient. Look at her teeth. And the woman in the middle is his wife.
Uh-oh.
Now, look at these werewolves. Which one is fake? It's the one on the left. He's wearing a costume. See that zipper? Mike came to the police station and claimed that he just had a car accident. A police officer accompanied Mike to the riverbank where the accident had happened. Mike told him that he had lost control while driving and the car had fallen into the river. Mike managed to get out of it and swim to the surface, but the car was gone. Now, he needed to write a report to his insurance company. The officer listened to Mike's story and detained him. Why? Look at Mike. His clothes are dry. But if he had gotten out of the river recently, his clothes would be damp. He's probably made up this story to get insurance for his car. Margot is an aspiring influencer from New York who has 2,000 followers. The Paris Fashion Week starts next week, and she really wants to get photographed there to help her gain more. But not surprisingly, she's not invited. So, when an extremely popular influencer offers tickets to one of his followers, she immediately jumps at the opportunity. However, she has to answer this riddle correctly to be able to win the ticket. You go in through one hole, you come out through 3 holes. Once you're inside, you're ready to go outside. But once you're outside, you're still inside. What is it? The answer is a t-shirt. Margot first has to buy her plane ticket to Paris to be able to actually attend the fashion show. So, she heads to a travel agency to book it. Since the flight is soon, the plane tickets are so expensive. The travel agent says,
I will give you a discount if you can answer my riddle correctly. 2 siblings with laces always on the floor. Sometimes they're running, and sometimes they do more. What are they?
It's sneakers. Margot must first find herself a chic gown to get ready for the event. So, she heads to the famous shopping avenue. 3 clothing stores grab her attention. Take a look at the displays of each of them. Which one should she pick? Let's take a look at the first store's display. The dresses are super fashionable, but do you see the price tag? It says that this dress is $3,000. That's way too expensive. As for the second store, the sale sign on the window is tempting. But did you notice the mice traps placed on the ground next to the mannequins? That can only mean this store is infested with rodents, and the clothes in there are probably ruined. So she should pick the third store. Margot walks inside and checks out the dresses. She likes 3 of them, but she can't make up her mind on which one to actually get. Can you help her out? Take a closer look at the rhinestones on the neckline of the first dress. One of them seems to have fallen off. It wouldn't look good on her reputation to wear this. And did you notice that the skirt of the third dress is slightly ripped? No one there will see that as a fashion statement. So she should buy the first one. Margot is going to fly in the next morning, so she needs to prepare her suitcase for the trip. However, it seems like she forgot to put 2 important items in it. Can you tell what they are? Do you see the sticky note on the vanity mirror inside her room? Her travel items list is written on it. Most of these items on the list are already placed in her suitcase, but she still needs to pack her shoes and her makeup bag. Margot looks around the room, but she can't find both of these items. Can you spot where they are? Her shoes are under her bed, and her makeup bag is behind the pillows on the couch. The next morning, Margot arrives at the airport to catch her flight. When she checks the departures board to figure out which gate to walk to, she sees that there are 3 different Paris flights departing all at the same time from different gates. Can you tell which gate number belongs to her flight? Did you notice the clue in the video that will help you figure this out? Let's rewind the video back to when Margot went to the travel agency. Do you see the sign that says, "We work with La Baguette Airlines"? So, Margot's ticket is from the same airline. And let's take a look at the departures board again. There's only one Paris flight that belongs to La Baguette Airlines, and it will be departing from gate number 5. During the flight attendant starts serving meals to the passengers. However, Margot realizes that she forgot to book the burger option in advance, so she's served the vegetable stir-fry instead. Seeing her so disappointed, the passenger next to her offers to trade his burger with her stir-fry if only she can answer his riddle. Throw it off the highest building and it will not break. Put it in the ocean and it will. What is it? The answer is a tissue. After a tiring flight, Margot arrives in Paris and finds her hotel. The hotel manager comes next to her and informs her that his employee gave the room she booked to someone else by mistake. However, to make it up to her, he takes her to 3 different rooms and says she can choose the one she wants to stay in. Which one should that be? Take a look at the pillowcases inside the first room. They have dirty brown spots on them. Yikes, that's a pass. And take a look at the temperature on the wall of the third room. It's kinda higher than normal room temperature. Seems like the air conditioner there is not working, so she should pick the second room. It's finally the day of the fashion show. But oh no, Margot forgot to bring her hair tools. So she urgently needs to find a hairstylist. She searches for the closest ones to her hotel from her phone and finds 3 hair salons near the area. Which one should she pick? Do you see the hairstylist working in the first hair salon? Her hair looks really messy, so she probably won't be able to give Margot the hairstyle she wants. The third hair salon looks really clean, but did you notice the 2-star rating it had when Margot Googled it? So it wouldn't be the safest option as well. Then, Margot should choose the second hair salon. After her hair is done, Margot heads to the venue to meet the popular influencer and get her ticket from him. Then, the popular influencer says that one of the models is a really close friend of his, so he can also take her backstage to have lunch with them if she wants. Margot excitedly accepts his offer. When she walks in, she sees that 3 people are sitting around the dining table. However, one of those is not actually a real model. Can you tell who? It's the girl in the middle. Did you notice that her bag is filled with food? The real models there don't need to save food for later. The fashion show begins, and Margot starts checking out the designer's new collection. However, when 3 models are walking the runway at the same time, she realizes that a scandal is right around the corner. Why is that? Take a closer look at each of the designs the models are wearing. Although this is a Dolce & Gabbana show, one of the dresses belongs to a different designer. The belt on it says Alexander McKing. After the scandalous fashion show ends, the popular influencer invites Margot to the after party and gives her the time and address details. Margot arrives at the club, but a bodyguard stops her. He says only those with the password can enter. When Margot tells him that she doesn't know the password, but was invited by the popular influencer, the bodyguard decides to give her a hint. 1 strand dangles, 2 strands twist. 3 or more can fashion this. Can you tell me what this is? It's braids. Margot enters the club and finds the popular influencer. He says, "Here you are. I was just looking at the posts of these 2 new influencers," and shows her his phone. "One of these is a millionaire, but the other one is just pretending to be rich. Yet, I can't figure out who is who. Can't you help me out?" Take a closer look at the second photo, and you can see a blurry watermark in the background. That means the second influencer photoshopped herself into a stock picture. So, she's the fake one.
Olivia is a travel blogger. Today, she's filming a trip to an ancient ruined city on a mountain. Can you spot anything odd? These ruins are ancient, but there's a dusty air conditioner hanging on the wall. The next day, Olivia goes to the local aquarium. She enters the hall to buy a ticket. Meanwhile, a magical portal opens on the roof, and two wizards get out of it. They jump into one of the aquariums and take the shape of some marine animals. Can you help Olivia figure out where the wizards are? These two creatures look pretty weird. Olivia goes hiking and meets a stranger at a campsite. His name is Mike. He's panicking and calling for help, while his wife Chloe is lying unconscious on the wet ground. Chloe and I went to a picnic. We set up a large awning, and then it started raining right away. Chloe stayed to make a fire, and I went to get some food. It started raining even more, and I hid under a big tree. When I came back, I found Chloe unconscious. Olivia examines the scene and immediately realizes that Mike is a liar. How did she know? If Mike and Chloe really set up the awning before the rain, the ground under it would be dry. But it's wet. Olivia goes to a restaurant with her sister Nina and her 3 close friends. They chat, laugh, and take lots of selfies. All of them leave at about 9 p.m. and go in different directions. In an hour, the police find Nina unconscious on the street. They question all the friends who attended the dinner in the restaurant, but all of them deny their guilt. After that, the police look through the pictures taken at the restaurant and identify the criminal right away. Who attacked Nina? Nina tried to protect herself and broke Sheila's glasses. That's why Sheila had to put on another pair. Olivia goes to Alaska to make a documentary about this picturesque lake. She rents a cabin for a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, she has a very annoying neighbor, Glenda. They're arguing all the time. One day, Glenda calls the police and accuses Olivia of stealing her clothes from the rope. In the morning, I hung my clothes up, but then I saw Olivia folding the clothes and shoving them into her bag. The policeman immediately realizes that Glenda is lying. How? It's freezing outside. The clothes would have gotten frozen and too hard to be folded. Olivia enters the local cafeteria, orders lunch, and goes to wash her hands. After that, she returns and finds a dish with a lid on her table. Olivia removes the lid and freaks out. There's a rat inside. One of these 3 guys pranked her. Can you guess who? The guy on the right. There's a mouse trap behind him. Olivia is exploring the local ski resort and meets Rick. He's very upset. I'm having the most important competition in an hour, but my ski jumpsuit is gone. I took it off to go to the toilet and left it in the dressing room. Someone stole it. Olivia interrogates 3 suspects among Rick's rivals. Kyle says, I was too busy preparing my own equipment. I don't know who took your suit. Ryan says, I put on my ski suit at home. That's why I didn't visit the resort's dressing room today. I've just arrived, so I didn't see what happened. And finally, Dylan says, I've been drinking tea with friends on a balcony, and I think I saw one guy in your jumpsuit snowboarding on a mountain. Who's lying? Ryan. If he put on his ski suit at home and just arrived, why is he wearing a casual outfit? Olivia arrives at the airport to fly to Brazil. 3 fans approach her and ask for a selfie. One of them is not from this planet. Can you guess who? The first lady has many random decorations in her dreads, but maybe it's just her style. The third guy's outfit looks pretty outdated, but it also doesn't prove anything. Meanwhile, the second lady has an additional pair of eyes on her knees, so she's probably not from Earth. Olivia and the other passengers go through a security check. One of the suitcases seems very suspicious, and the guards interrogate its owner. Can you spot this luggage? This suitcase seems to belong to a lady, but why does she need just one male shoe? Probably to hide something forbidden. The plane takes off and Olivia falls asleep. She wakes up in an hour and finds out that her book is missing. She questions people nearby. Jake says, "Sorry, I was watching a movie. I'm not into books." Brandon says, "I didn't see your book because I'm blind." And Diego says, "I also took a nap, so I didn't see anything. But you can use my ebook if you will." One of them is lying. Can you guess who? Brandon. If he's really blind, why is he using a regular laptop? Finally, the stewardess announces dinner time. Olivia can choose one of these 4 lunchboxes, but unfortunately, she's allergic to all green vegetables and seafood. What box should she choose? First of all, let's exclude the first and the second boxes because they have seafood ingredients. And since Olivia is only allergic to green vegetables, but not fruits or herbs, the fourth option is the best because she can eat everything here. Olivia lands in Brazil and takes a train to get to her hotel. She takes a brief nap on the way. Then she wakes up and pulls out a mirror to check her makeup. Oh no! Someone drew a mustache on my face while I was sleeping! Olivia interrogates people nearby. Isabella says, "I was listening to my music and looking at the window all along. I don't know who did it." Carlos says, "Look, lady, I'm a serious businessman. Why would I waste time on silly pranks?" And Maria says, seems like the pranker used a permanent marker. Don't worry, I have super strong wet wipes to wash it off. Who pranked Olivia? Maria. Olivia didn't mention that she can't wash off the mustache. So how did Maria know that the marker was permanent? Also, take a look at her phone. She took a picture of Olivia sleeping. Olivia checks into the hotel. She enters her room and faces a cute surprise. Someone left a huge basket with food and flowers for her. The note says, "For my favorite blogger." Olivia wants to know who her secret admirer is, so she interrogates 3 people in the lobby. The manager says, "No one warned me about the gift basket. I don't know who sent it." The repairman says, "Sorry, miss, I've been painting benches in the garden all day long, and I didn't enter the rooms." And the cleaning lady says, "I entered your room in the morning to clean up before check-in. I didn't see any baskets." Who's the secret admirer? The repairman. He painted the benches yellow and got his hands dirty, and then he left a couple of yellowish fingerprints on the basket and the note. Tomorrow, Olivia is having an important podcast with another celebrity. Her assistant has prepared 2 versions of advertisement flyers. Can you spot 3 differences? Here they are. In the evening, Olivia goes to the beach to watch the sunset and have dinner. During her picnic, different guys are passing by the shore and make attempts to impress Olivia. Each of them claims to be the owner of this chic sports car that is parked nearby. Can you help Olivia spot the real owner among these 3 strangers? The car belongs to the first guy. He's holding one swimming fin in his hands. Meanwhile, the second one is in the car. Olivia goes to the local waterfalls. She asks one of the tourists to take her picture. He takes 2. Can you see 3 differences between them? Here they are.
Hey, ready for some Valentine's Day riddles? Look at these three guys. Which of them is going on a date tonight?
Hello.
It must be this one. He has a little wrapped present, probably for his date. Now let's peek inside a restaurant. Which of the three girls is on a date? It's this one. Look, there are roses and two sets of dishes on the table. So she's not alone, and it's something romantic. My money is on her. This is Allison, and one of these three young men is her boyfriend. Can you tell who? It's this one. Look, they have matching tattoos. Take a look at these two proposals. Which one of them is fake? This one. Look, the guy has a ring. He's clearly already married. It was Friday evening, and Mark was waiting for his girlfriend to get back from work. He prepared dinner and was about to propose. His girlfriend came back home with flowers. Do you think she was on a date with someone? No, she wasn't. Look outside. The same flowers grow in their garden. She just picked some before entering the house. On Valentine's Day, Annika found a love note on her desk. Unfortunately, the note wasn't signed, but she had three suspects. So she asked each of them if they had written her a note. Dylan said, "I was busy finishing my math homework before class." Connor said, "I was hanging out with my buddies outside." And Luke said, "I was in the bathroom and I just returned." Who wrote Annika the letter? It was Luke. Look, his hands are covered in red ink. That's the color used in the letter. Also, if he had really been to the bathroom, his hands would be clean. On Valentine's Day, Jess found a note in her locker. But the note was weird. It was just a sequence of random letters. Or was it some code? Can you help Jess read the note and figure out who sent it to her? Of course it's a code. Look, there are 5 groups of letters with 5 letters in each group. Let's put them into a 5 by 5 table. And now, we need to read this vertically, column by column. Will you go out with me, Colton? So where's that Colton? Michelle was hosting a Valentine's Day party. She invited all her school friends, and everyone was allowed to bring a +1. Either their significant other or a single friend. In the middle of the party, she noticed that her cousin was in the garden talking to some girl, but it was dark and she couldn't tell which girl it was. She just saw that the girl had long hair. When her cousin returned, she knew immediately who he was interested in. Here are 3 girls with long hair. Who was outside with Michelle's cousin? Look, Michelle's cousin has a lipstick stain. The girl must have left it, and this girl right here is wearing lipstick of the same shade. On a cold, rainy night, Damon was driving past a bus stop. There were 3 people there waiting for their bus. An elderly lady who looked sick, a doctor who had saved many lives, and Addison, a girl Damon had a crush on for years. Unfortunately, there was only room for one more person in his car. What should Damon do? He should give his car to the doctor, who would then take the lady to the hospital. And Damon can stay at the bus stop waiting for the bus with the girl of his dreams. Looking like a hero in her eyes.
Yeah.
Let's take a little break now. Have you seen any romantic movies? Well, I hope so, because I'll be showing you some emojis, and your task will be to guess what romantic movie they stand for. Okay, here's the first very easy one. Of course, that's Titanic. Here's the next one. Nothing much, but it should be clear. Do you know this movie? It's The Notebook. What about this one? A relatively recent remake was a great success. Can you recognize it? It's A Star Is Born. Here's the next one. Do you think you can guess it right? It's Before Sunrise. The next set of emojis illustrates another very well-known love story. Can you guess it right? It's La La Land, of course. Here's the last one. It's an oldie but a goodie. What do you think? Everyone's favorite, The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Kate Winslet and Jim Carrey. It was Valentine's Day, and Nicole wanted to put a little present in the locker of the student she had a crush on. Unfortunately, she didn't know the code. Luckily for her, the owner of the locker was forgetful too, so there was a note with a hint. Can you figure out the combination? Each number is the number of lines in the respective letter. There is just one line in I, 4 lines in M, 3 in H, and 2 in T. So, following the same logic, there are 4 lines in E, 2 in L, 2 in V, and 3 in Z. So the combination is 4, 2, 2, 3. Okay, here's another code for you to crack. This time, you need to help Eric. He wants to get his wife a nice Valentine's Day gift, but he is absolutely clueless about what she wants. So, the plan is to break into her computer, check her shopping cart, and get something from there. The problem is that the computer requires a passcode, and the man doesn't know it. Luckily, there's a note on the desk, so he types in 6198. But the passcode is wrong. Can you figure out what the correct passcode is? The note is just turned upside down. Eric should try typing in 8619 instead. Kennedy works in the emergency room. It's Valentine's Day and there's a patient who felt unwell during a college party. Kennedy leaves the room because she needs to talk to the patient's girlfriend. She was at the party with him. Which young woman should she approach? Who is the guy's date? Keep in mind that the couple was at a party, so they must be dressed nicely. The patient's date is most likely this woman in a pretty dress. Now, let's do some exercises to train your eyes. Here's a bunch of hearts. Can you find one broken heart? Yes, here it is. Good job. The task is similar, but not quite. Now there are many hearts and a few broken hearts. How many broken hearts are there? There are 5 broken hearts here. Have you found them all? Kelsey came to an antique store to get some presents for her boyfriend for Valentine's Day. She needed a baseball cap for him, an antique pocket watch, and a toy car from the 1920s. Can you help her find all these items for her boyfriend? Here's the cap, here's the watch, and here's the car. Have you spotted them all? Mark, the boyfriend, is getting presents for Kelsey in the same antique store. He needs to find a pretty cup, an antique mirror, and a beautiful photo album. He needs some help too, so keep your eyes wide open. Do you see all these items? Here they all are. 1, 2, and 3. Great job! It's a Valentine's Day party, and Melody, the most popular girl in school, is hosting it. 4 best friends are standing together, and one of them is Melody's boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
You ask them who the boyfriend is, and here's what they say. The first guy says, the fourth one is the boyfriend. The second guy says, it's me. The third one claims, no, it's the first guy. And the fourth one says,
No, it's actually me.
if only the boyfriend tells the truth and the other guys lie, who is Melody's boyfriend? Only the boyfriend tells the truth, so he will say, I'm the boyfriend. So it's either the second guy or the fourth one. But if the boyfriend is the fourth guy, then the first one is telling the truth too. So, Melody's boyfriend is the second guy.